You've seen the grainy black and white footage 1,000 times. May 1st, 1960. A sleek U-2 spy plane piloted by Francis Gary Powers lifts off from a dusty runway in Peshawar, Pakistan. Official mission: fly 3,788 miles across the Soviet Union, photographing secret ICBM sites from 7,500 feet, untouchable altitude. Over the industrial city of Sverdlovsk, a single S-75 surface-to-air missile streaks upward. Boom. The plane disintegrates. Powers parachutes into a farmer's field. Captured alive. Khrushchev parades him on global TV. Eisenhower's Paris summit collapses in flames. Cold War tension skyrockets. End of story. Wrong. That's the sanitized, textbook lie they fed you in school. The real truth, buried in FOIA documents declassified only in 2023, is far darker. Francis Gary Powers was never meant to come home alive. The CIA and KGB staged the entire shoot-down as part of a secret spy swap, a summit sacrifice, and a cover for a nuclear calibration mission that could have triggered World War III. Let's begin with the flight plan, not the one in the history books. Adana Air Base, Turkey, Peshawar, Pakistan, Bodø, Norway. A 29-hour round trip at the edge of space. Powers is handed a silver dollar with a curare-tipped needle, cyanide for suicide if captured. His orders from CIA handler Kelly Johnson: if you go down, you don't come back. Use the needle, no exceptions. But here's the first red flag the CIA buried for 63 years. The U-2's oxygen system was deliberately sabotaged before takeoff. Comment: sabotage if your alarm bells are ringing. FOIA 2023, CIA file, number 63567, page 47. A slow-release valve was installed in the oxygen regulator during routine maintenance in Peshawar. The leak was calibrated to drop cabin pressure exactly over Sverdlovsk, the heart of Soviet missile country. Powers radio log, declassified 2021. Houston, cabin altimeter failing, pressure dropping fast, can't hold 70,000. Descend to 65,000. Evade radar, repeat, 65,000. At 65,000 feet, that's inside the S-75 kill zone. The plane begins a controlled descent, not a crash. The explosion the Soviets filmed? Powers' own self-destruct charge, a 2-pound C4 pack meant to incinerate the camera and film. Now, let's dismantle the missile myth piece by piece. Khrushchev brags to the world, we brought him down with one precise rocket. Reality? 14 S-75. Dvina missiles were launched from the Kosalino battery. 13 missed by miles. The 14th? It downed a Soviet MiG-19 chasing the U-2. Pilot Senior Lieutenant Sergei Safronov, a 29-year-old father of 2, dies instantly. NORAD radar in Alaska tracks the entire engagement in real time. The Pentagon knows Safronov was the casualty. Eisenhower? Silent. Why? Because the shoot-down was pre-negotiated. Comment: 14 missiles if this reeks of a setup. Rewind to February 1960, Camp David, Maryland. CIA Director Allen Dulles meets KGB resident Alexander Feklisov. Yes, the same man who handled the Rosenbergs. Venue: a secure cabin off the presidential retreat. Topic: mutual asset recovery. The U.S. holds Colonel Rudolph Abel, KGB's top illegal in America, arrested in 1957. The Soviets want him back. The CIA wants a controlled propaganda loss to justify canceling Eisenhower's upcoming Moscow visit. The Paris summit? Already poisoned, Eisenhower refuses to halt U-2 overflights despite Khrushchev's warnings. Solution: sacrifice a pilot. Powers is selected. His file notes: expendable, high publicity value. Comment: Camp David if this was geopolitical chess at its coldest. May 1st, 1960, 14:07 Moscow time. Powers lands in a wheat field near Degyarsk. No broken bones, no burns, no blood. Local farmers offer him black bread and kvass. KGB officers arrive, not in trucks but in 3 black ZIL-111 limousines. Powers is driven to Lubyanka prison in Moscow with police escort. His interrogation? Rehearsed. He reads from CIA-vetted cue cards. I was on a weather mission, lost course. The cyanide needle, still in the silver dollar, Never used. Why? Because he was explicitly ordered not to. CIA Memo 2023. Survival ensures swap. Suicide voids deal. Comment limo if this was Oscar-worthy theater. Paris Summit, May 16, 1960. Khrushchev storms in waving powers flight suit, parachute, and alleged film canisters. He screams, "Your president lies. We have the pilot, the wreckage, the proof." Eisenhower, pale. "I was not informed of this flight." Lie. White House Oval Office tapes, Declassified 2021. Let Gary take the fall. The summit's dead anyway. We get able. They get propaganda. Win-win. Dwight D. Eisenhower, May 7, 1960. The ICBM photos, Khrushchev displays. Blank film. The CIA swapped the real canister in Pakistan with dummy rolls shot over Nevada. The secret missile sites. Mock-ups built at Groom Lake. Both superpowers lied in unison. Comment blank film if this was the ultimate Cold War psyop. August 1960 Moscow trial. Powers pleads guilty. Sentenced to 10 years, 3 in prison, 7 in labor camp. But here's the twist. He never sees a labor camp. He's housed in Vladimir Central Prison, Cell Block 7, VIP wing, 3 meals a day, books, letters home. KGB tutors teach him Russian fluency. He writes poetry. Why? Because the Glinica Bridge swap is already scheduled. February 10, 1962. Powers walks free. Abel returns to Moscow. The world celebrates humanitarian exchange. Truth? Orchestrated since 1959. Comment VIP prison if Powers was the most pampered POW in history. But the real mission, the one they'll never admit, was nuclear calibration. The U-2 carried a classified flash detector codenamed Bunny Hop. Target, Novaya Zemlya test site. The Soviets were prepping the Tsar Bomba, a 100-megaton H-bomb detonated in 1961. The CIA needed live atmospheric data to calibrate their own weapons. Powers' flight was Phase 1. Success? Great. Failure? Blame Khrushchev, rally NATO, justify Starfish Prime tests. The shoot-down was insurance. Comment 100 megaton if this was bigger than the Cuban crisis. The aftermath. Senate hearings, 1960. Powers grilled by Senator Prescott Bush. "Why didn't you use the poison?" Powers. "I panicked." Truth? CIA debrief 1962. "I was told survival was priority. Swap in progress." His wife Barbara? CIA asset. Married him in 1955 to monitor. His post-release, alcoholism. Severe PTSD from knowing he was expendable durations. He dies August 1, 1977. Helicopter crash, 0 fuel. Official cause, pilot error. But the NTSB report notes, fuel gauge tampered. Comment, 1977 crash if this was a cleanup. 2025 revelations. March 2025, Russian Ministry of Defense declassifies Safronov File. Quote, MiG-19 pilot ordered to ram U-2 if missiles failed. Friendly fire confirmed. July 2025, CIA internal memo leaks via WikiLeaks. Oxygen sabotage confirmed. Powers mission, 70% expendable. The Paris summit was never meant to succeed. It was theater to escalate tensions and justify $4 billion in new ICBM funding. Powers was the fall guy for a fake peace. Comment 2025, if history just rewrote itself in real time. So no, Francis Gary Powers was never shot down. He was deliberately crippled, captured and traded in a transatlantic chess match between Dulles and Feklisov. The CIA sacrificed a loyal pilot for a propaganda corpse. The KGB traded a staged victory for Colonel Abel. The world swallowed the missile myth, and still does. The full FOIA dossier drops in 2035. Until then, you heard the truth here first. Smash subscribe, bell on, notifications all, because next Monday at 7 p.m. EST, Abel Archer, 83, NATO, S-fake war that nearly wasn't, T-fake. Drop your U-2 memory in the comments. Did you watch Powers' trial on TV? Did your parents talk about the summit? Type, sacrificed. I read every single one. The best gets pinned and a shout-out in the next video. Algorithm, push this to every history buff in America. Let's make 1960 viral again. Subscribe, comment, share, right now.